More than 50 dairy farms in Maine have shut down for the last 5 years. They found out that the milk that they produce contains very high concentration of PFAS. Has anybody around here heard about PFAS before? Okay, a lot of us, so great. So PFAS are man-made chemicals that can be found in your everyday items, such as cosmetics, non-stick pans, your jackets, shampoo, deodorant, so on and so forth. So PFAS are valued by the manufacturing industry because they are heat-resistant and can repel oil and water. These properties are the same properties that makes PFAS extremely persistent in the environment. So once released, they can stay in the soil and water for decades and even enter the human food system. So long-term exposure to PFAS are linked to low fertility, hormonal disruption, weak immune system, and even cancer. So how did these chemicals ended up in those Maine dairy farms? Back in the 80s and the 90s, these dairy farms received sewage sludge from paper mill companies. And this sludge was applied to their field as fertilizer. Little these farmers know, this sludge contains very high concentration of PFAS. And through the years, this PFAS was absorbed by the grasses in the pasture. And then, when the cows grazed on those pasture, the PFAS entered their body, accumulated over time, and the contaminated milk was sold into the grocery stores and to the consumers. So my research focuses on breaking this pathway. We tested 6 different types of binders, which are compounds that traps these chemicals and prevents their absorption in the animal's body. So these binders were mixed with a PFAS-contaminated grass and incubated in laboratory conditions that simulate the stomach of the cow for 48 hours. One binder stood out. A compound called cholestyramine successfully bound 52% of PFAS from the contaminated grass. Therefore, it has a very huge potential to reduce PFAS contamination in milk. Soon, we will test this cholestyramine using a live dairy sheep to test whether it can reduce PFAS contamination under real-life farming conditions. I know that there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, but this research represents important first steps towards helping those farmers get back into the business of producing safe, healthy, and PFAS-free milk for everyone. Thank you.